So hey guys, we're gonna do a little video here talking about some parachutes and about slowing down. Big reason is White Safety just hooked us up with some badass new chutes, and wanted to show you guys. I'm really appreciative of those guys. They have a really good personal touch there, and they do some really cool custom stuff, and they think way outside the box for you for any kind of weight level of car, speed, distance of racing, all that stuff. He asked all the right questions to know what kind of chute you need. Custom made some new chutes. They got a company name on them. Northeast Unlimited, multicolored, really awesome. And what he did with these chutes is he made these chutes where they are a little indifferent than the newer chutes we had on the car that he gave us a shot with. They just hit harder. And I like when these chutes harder because they allow you to really feel it in the car, knowing that your chutes are deployed and they're slowing you down, where the other chutes were very graceful and very soft hitting. Colby out there burning some laps. So really important to be able to get the proper chute size, chute combination on your car, and having the proper people to work with. And Kevin White down there is awesome if you guys have never dealt with him. Now that's something else too, guys, that people don't think about, because obviously everybody worries about going really fast, and we always don't think about slowing down, whether it be your brakes that are needed to slow down, the proper braking, the proper master cylinder sizing, the proper calipers. You know, that's where HFR came into play when they built this car. They properly sized the master cylinder down here for the TDM brakes, which are here, front and rear, and knowing what style piston caliper to use. You know, all this stuff's very important. But let's talk about some seat belts in here. So White Safety also supplies us with our safety belts. These are cam lock, and I want to show you something really cool about these. If you don't know, because I learned this year. Hold this here, Chris. Is when you put these harnesses on, these harnesses, let's set those over here. When you connect these to your cam lock, these are pull-ups. So you pull up. Really nice. You're not fighting to push them down, to get yourself nice and snug. Very cool design. And I'm sure some other seatbelt companies probably offer the same. So White, these guys, Kevin, recommended. So glad we made that change. So much easier when we're strapping in. Chris here that's videoing with us, Caltoff, he helps me strap in most of the time when we're at the racetrack. It's kind of, you know, tight situation. You got to get the Hans on all clipped and tightened up. And it's one of those deals where the seatbelts are sometimes tough to get to when you get your Hans and helmet on. So very important. The pull-ups are really awesome. Also supplied by White Safety. And I really wanted you guys to know that that's something that we love having. And we love having the relationship with Kevin White and White Safety. You guys call those guys. You'll work probably directly with him and some others, and great to deal with. And you guys need to understand that when you're stopping a 2,500-pound car to a 3,500-pound no prep car with a lot of ballast in it, you know, there's a lot of guys out there. I've seen some instances where guys ran into some netting just recently, and you know, chutes didn't deploy properly or chutes did deploy, and it can happen to any of us. You know, and we know that. We all risk that chance of it happening. You know, Caden had some issues with his older chute that was on the shop not deploying the other day, but it had a combination of us just having some worn out parts that we had to change. But you know, that stuff sometimes happens because you're not, you know, taking in consideration the chute's capability or how important the chute is in actually even functioning properly to slow the weight of the car down at the speed you're going. So people don't take that in consideration, and Kevin will ask you all those questions. How fast you going? Are you running quarter mile ET? If he says, hey man, do you run two chutes or one? Sometimes I'll make you a custom chute that's one chute if you don't want to pack two. Or if you wanted to slow down very strong and for it to strub off a lot of speed quickly, he'll build you a bigger single chute. You know, a lot of those things that you can get firsthand made and custom done to your perfection. I want to show you something else about the seat, this pour-in seat that I'm in also. I'll show you actually while I'm sitting here. So Jeff Kondratic came to our place, actually did this pour-in seat. Now, he didn't have time to embroider it, because I was rushing to try and make MVK season last year. We built the car, but this is a pour-in seat. So basically what you do is you put your full suit on, pants and jacket, you sit in here with your helmet, you sit back, and they put it in a bag, and they pour it around you, and it actually custom fits around your whole body. Now, believe it or not, when I sat on this seat, which this seat has very little bit of foam under my butt, without that little bit, I would sit in here for 2 minutes tops, and I would start getting uncomfortable. My butt bone, tailbone would get sore. Just from that little bit of padding that he has at the bottom gives you a comfort sit to where if I was on the lanes and I had to take a nap, I couldn't be comfortable. So the pour-in seat's very good for just comfortability of sitting in the car, then safety. So when these guys come in and do these pour-in seats, you got like HFR Fabrication comes in and installs this carbon fiber seat. And then I'll show you the good part, which is really good for your body and your bones if God forbid something happens. So he'll take and he'll see your body and he'll fit you. And Jeff will come in and actually see where your mount of your seatbelt tabs are, your A tabs or your double shear tabs, if they're properly installed, are. And then he'll cut the hole in the seat. So basically this pulls directly around your body where the seatbelt never comes in contact with the seat to cut or tear the seat if God forbid something happens. And it pulls around you, so it's not pulling against your ribs. It's not pulling too far back. So if you were to roll or tumble or hit a wall, that it won't want to break your ribs. And he takes in consideration all of this, how he makes and mounts and cuts the seat. So very interesting. And I'm telling you guys, this stuff is things that some people overlook in the no prep game because safety and tech isn't as important. But take in consideration these things. I tell you, if I had it over to do with my small tire cars like the OG behind us, I would do this again, and I would love to be able to make the time and take the time and money to do it. Maybe one day we will, but this car and this level of racing sucks all the energy and all the extra change out of our pockets to be able to do the other upgrades to the cars we're not driving as much. So keep in mind, this is Jeff Kondratic. He will come to you local. He's local here in the Northeast. Does a lot of PDRA, a lot of the NCA, top sportsman guys, a lot of those awesome drag racers that race really fast cars. So he's your guy up here to do the pour-in seat. Once you cut it up and grind it in place, you take it. He takes it and he basically upholsters it. Like I said, normally he labels it or embroiders it. The pads were made by ISP. He did actually want to remake my pads for me because he didn't like the level of them. He'd rather have cut the one to make my head a little more centered in the funny car cage. But these were made kind of custom with HFR when they built the car to have the car safe and set out to me. So they're still work beautifully and they're fine there. So he didn't make any changes, but it is something he wanted to adapt and make some adjustments with at some point. So keep it in mind, guys. Flight safety, you can't do without them. Very, very important deal. It's one of those things, guys, you got to want to take lightly or not take in consideration when you're building your shoe size for your car. So like and love their pages and check those guys out and talk to them if you guys need anything. Thanks, man.